Okay, just thought I'd show you this. This is the latest firmware on one of these two radios. I'm sorry it's a bit dark, but you'll see why in a moment when I switch them on, so you can see the display on both of them. The one on the bottom is the faulty original one I had. I've jiggled this, I've opened this up and played around with this encoder, the existing encoder a bit at the moment, and I've got this encoder working oddly enough. I'm not quite sure how, but it is. I haven't changed it out yet, it is working. But what I wanted to show you is I've just flashed the firmware on the one at the bottom, the old one. And Phillip, Locke and David Ayers have amended the firmware and made some nice updates, so I'll show you that. But first of all, I'll turn both of these receivers on. So the bottom one is the modified firmware. Okay, hopefully the camera will focus in a minute. And they're both going to default onto FM. Top one's a lot slower, you can see, and it's always been that way. This is the more operational one of the two, the one on the top here. And it's whether it's because it's on earlier firmware, I don't know, but it's always been slow to boot up. But hopefully you can see already they both default to the FM band. I just want to turn the volume down on these. They both default to the FM band, and you can see that the frequencies display on this lower one is quite a bit bigger. Let's step up to the one of the shortwave bands and do the same here. And I think you'll agree that it's actually an awful lot easier to read the display now on this one. And now, an odd effect of doing this firmware update on the lower one, I had this workaround for switching to SSB. Even though I've tried to remap the buttons in the same way I did before, that workaround doesn't work anymore. So I'm going to have to look at the bridged pins in here to get it working. But I think just looking at the firmware update, what it actually gives us, as well as the cleaner, larger display, we've now got, if you can see these steps, we're on a 4 kilohertz bandwidth at the moment. But if I go to the step button on the right hand side, you can see the ST, we're now in a step of 5 kilohertz. We've now got 9 kilohertz for medium wave and the 10 kilohertz we had before. We've also got 100 kilohertz. So now we can step up and down a lot quicker through the band with 100 kilohertz, whereas on the original one, on the step, we just had 5, 10 and 1. So we've now got the 1, we've got 100, we've got 1, 5, 9, 10. So that's quite a worthwhile addition. And I do like the frequency display, so I'll be flashing this one at some point so I can get that display and get the other features. I'll be looking at this one to see if I can sort out the SSB. As you can see, I'll show you what I did to them. It's crazy how I've got this encoded to work. I don't imagine it will last, but I've literally taken the tuning knob off here and prodded the pins because I was looking at this encoder to see how easy it would be to remove, and as a side effect of doing that, it seems to have got it working for now. So there we go. I just thought I'd show you that. That's the latest firmware for the SI receivers, and yeah, quite a worthwhile update.